Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yes, yes. Ma'am, is my voice audible and clear?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Your voice is audible.
Okay.
Can we check the presentation, ma'am?
Yeah, just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, visible?
Yes, ma'am. Visible. I'm just making it as full screen. Full screen.
Okay. Ma'am, is it not possible to see my video while I'm presenting?
Ma'am, you have to log in two ways. One on your in the voice, and other you have to share the screen. Like you have to access into one in mobile, another one on laptop.
Otherwise, when I'm sharing the screen, I'll not be able to see the participants nor me.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And this is visible, right?
Yeah, it's visible, ma'am. You can log into the laptop so that you can see the participant as well as you can run the slides now.
Yeah, I'm using the laptop right now.
You are visible, Mama.
Okay.
Ma'am, let's wait for others to join. Session will start by 10:05, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, a resource person joined, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am, sure, ma'am.
Good morning, dear all. A warm welcome to you from the KSG College of Arts and Science. We'll be starting the session in a while. Please wait for 2 minutes. We'll be starting the session very shortly. Thank you.
Good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, we will start the session in 2 minutes, sir.
Yes, madam, no problem.
A pleasant morning to everyone gathered here, and greetings to you on behalf of KSG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore, and the Placement Training Cell. Welcome to the second day of the 4-day webinar series on Skill Up. A warm wish to the resource person of the day, Ms.ANGELA ELDEN, and all the participants. To begin the session, I invite Dr. M. Raja, the head of the Department of Commerce with Professional Accounting, to welcome the gathering. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. God and the devil appears in man's mind only. They don't have materials for our experiences. Because, according to the Aringarana, I welcome in this festival. I would like to good morning each and everyone on behalf of our management, CEO, principal, HOD, and members of faculty and my dear students. I welcome you all to this fantastic festival. I welcome our correspondent, ma'am, Srimati K.S. Geeta, Secretary, Dr. Pavitra Taminor, for their wishes and blessing of even in their absence. So success has, there is no age limit. I extend my hearty welcome to our most respected CEO, Dr. B. Gunalan, who works energetic and makes his surroundings to energetic. I welcome you, sir. It's my pleasure to welcome our principal, Dr. M. Nagarajan, who thinks and execute his ideas in a creative manner and innovative and informative manner. I welcome you, sir. I extend my gratitude to our Vice Principal, Dr. M. Bhaskaran, who knows for his perfection and hard works. I welcome you, sir. And this festival, I would like to invite and I welcome Ms. Leah Elden. She is a soft skill coach, TCS, and a Mahindra CSR. I welcome you, ma'am, in this festival. I would like to welcome each and every students and the coordinator of Anita Sri is a placement coordinator. And I would like to warm welcoming all the peoples and the participants of in this occasion, the host morning. I welcome you each and everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the warm note of welcome. It is important to be a person of honor than a person of wealth, and we feel privileged to have with us an eminent and honorable resource person today. I request Mrs. Anita Shri ma'am, the placement coordinator of KSG College of Arts and Science, to introduce our chief guest to us. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good morning to all. It takes an immense pleasure in welcoming our beloved chief guest, Ms. Leah Elden, soft skill coach, TCS CSR and Mahindra CSR SPS Training Academy. She has completed her master's in zoology from Chris Deemed University, Bangalore, and bachelor's in zoology from Sacred Heart College, Ernakulam. In regards with her professional experience, she is working as a soft skill trainer for various organizations like TCS Youth Employability Program, SPS Training Academy, Cognizant, and LEYA. She also has an experience in working as a content developer, trainer, and module consultant. She trained students of various backgrounds like MBA, engineering, arts and science, ITI, and other schools. She prepared modules for faculty development program for college faculties. She is an active member in question bank preparation for TCS Youth Employability Program. Our area of expertises are communication skills, social perceptiveness, creative thinking, presentation skills, personality development, team building, and voice accent. It's really an honor for us to have you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm note for introducing the chief guest to us. We are to begin the much awaited session and the need of the day on virtual interviews. I welcome a resource person to take over the session. Welcome, dear ma'am.
A very warm good morning to all of you here, and thank you so much for the wonderful welcome and the introduction that you gave about me. So yes, as you all know, my name is Angela Leah Elden, and yeah, you've got quite a few detailed introduction about me, I would say. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the convener of the program is Anita Shri ma'am, who's been coordinating with me for the past couple of days and has given me all the help and assistance I required in order to make sure that the event is happening. And I also extend my heartfelt gratitude to the college management for conducting such a program for the students, especially in order to focus more on the career rather than just the academics part. So in spite of having such a pandemic also, you're giving much importance to the career and the future of these students. That's a wonderful thing that I really appreciate. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I'm very happy to meet all of y'all, at least virtually. Not able to see you clearly, but then, yeah, virtually I'm able to meet the students of KSG Institute. So I'm very happy about that. And I would say a few years back, not very time long, but few years back, I was also sitting in your position of a student. I was also wearing a hat of a student. And in fact, I was not a student who was very serious about the career, and I did not know the importance of career. I took a subject that is zoology. I did my undergraduation and post graduation in zoology because I loved that subject. And I would say accidentally, by mistake, I happened to attend one of the training programs. I'm really not a person who's very interested in attending trainings, because I usually had this thought that it's going to be very boring and it's all going to be lectures and everything. And yes, I would like to use the word accidentally. Accidentally, I did happen to attend a training program. And that is when I got an exposure about such a field, and gave me a lot of insight about the future prospects, the career opportunities that are there. And in fact, attending the training program itself helped me open a new career for me. So right after post graduation, there was no turning back. I got into the training field, and then from there I've been associated with a lot of organizations and a lot of corporates, like a few that you've mentioned already. And I got to take a lot of sessions, a lot of training, conduct a lot of trainings for students across India. And I'm very happy to say that I got to meet a lot of students with different culture and everything. So it gave me a lot of learning for me. And I'm very happy that I could also be a small part of I could also contribute a little part in their success and building their career. So I would say that this opportunity that you are getting right now, I hope that all of you utilize it really well, so that you will also be able to create a wonderful foundation in your career. Now, talking about the session that I am going to have today. Now, few months back, or maybe few years back, our teachers would have asked us that, or our teachers would have said that we need to grab each and every opportunity that comes along our way. And definitely we are not the interviewers are not going to come home to give you interview opportunities, so that would be something that everybody would have said. But right now, if we are to be asked the same question, it's a slightly different answer that we are giving today. Because yes, the interviewers are coming home today, because they're knocking our doors, and then they are taking our convenient time so that they can take the interviews. Thanks to the pandemic, at least in that case, so that it is easier for youngsters like you to get interview opportunities and to get placed. So here I am going to give you a small session. Due to time constraints, I will not be able to give you a detailed one, but definitely I'll be giving you a small session, and I'll give you a glance of how the virtual interviews are happening. As you all know the topic, it's the virtual interviews that's the topic that I'm going to focus today. And now what we need to know is how can we as a candidate impress the HR virtually? Okay, so that is what we have to do, and we have to see what is it that we can do in order to make sure that we are getting selected ultimately, right? So these are the little things that you need to be very much careful about when you are attending an interview. So I would rather prefer than a webinar, than a one-man show. I would rather prefer an interactive session. So if you have any doubts, I'm most welcome to all your queries. You can pose the questions in the chat box. And towards the end, I'll also be having a question and answer session so that you can clarify all your doubts. However silly it is, however small your doubt is, go ahead and shoot whatever answer, or in whatever ways I can help you, I'll definitely help you out. All right. So let's get started without any delay. I hope all of you can see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So yes, as I had already told you, let's talk about virtual interview. So basically, it's almost the same. It's just that everything is happening in front of a screen, and it's happening in a laptop. So you're literally not meeting people in person. It's just that you are sitting at your own place, and then you are attending this. Now the crux is how you can impress the other person by just sitting at home and then attending a virtual interview. So that is what we'll have to discuss. Now, when we talk about interview as such, okay, so when we think about the word interview, you basically have a thought that there is one person sitting in the interview board, and then that person will be asking you a lot of questions, and the interviewee would be attending, answering all these questions, and the interviewee would be trying to impress the HR. That is what is being, that is the general notion that all of us have when we hear about the term interview. But to be very frank, that is just the last part of the interview. So the success is when you clear all the other rounds and you reach that particular stage where you get a chance to meet the interviewer, and then you can impress. So there are a lot of other rounds before an actual face-to-face interview. So one such round that we have is the aptitude test. So this is the preliminary round, I would say, and it is an online test that we have. Now, I don't know if the moment you would have heard the word aptitude, I'm very sure that at least a couple of you all would have had a frown on your face because it's maths, right? That's the notion we have again. But let me tell you guys, aptitude is not just about maths. It has got a lot of other things as well. So some of the other aspects or some of the other topics that are covered in aptitude is definitely your English, because English is the business language and communication is very much mandatory in whichever field you are, be it a teaching profession, be it an IT profession, or be it an technical work that you are going to do, whatever domain you are into, it is very important that you need to have good communication skills. The basic thing, you need to put your thoughts into words. So you need to have that fluency so that you will be able to put your thoughts, you will be able to express your opinions, you will be able to voice out your opinions. So for that, communication is very much important. And for testing your English, the knowledge in English, they'll be testing your grammar, the how well can you comprehend passages, and all verbal vocabulary, verbal ability. So all these are the things that are being assessed under English. Now the next part that we have is logical reasoning. So this is the most interesting part, I would say, for me at least, because there is no clear-cut method or clear-cut formula that we can follow in order to reach an answer. It is basically using your common sense. So you look at a question, you analyze a question, and then you use your logic, you apply your logic, and then reach a solution. That is what is to be done in logical reasoning. So the only option that we have is, as much as we get exposed to as many questions we have, we can make it sure that we can make sure that we are able to solve all these questions within a few seconds of time. So it's the speed that matters, and it's the practice that helps you gain that speed. And then the next part is definitely the numerical ability. So it is just basically to see how good you are with numbers. Now, trust me, it is not very difficult, because all the mathematical problems that we have, it's a beaten, it's the same topics that are being covered, and it's basically the maths that you learned back in school. So you just brush up through these formulas. That's very much useful, and that's very much enough for you to clear these aptitude tests with the numerical part. And of course, the last part is computer. So again, whichever field you are into. It's not necessary that it's just the IT people will who have to attend the aptitude test, but whichever field you are into, you will have to face you will have to have a basic knowledge of computer. At least you need to know how to handle MS Office. So the reason why that is required is because how tech savvy are you. So that is how you the basically the amount of tech savvy you are is directly proportional to how easy your work can be done. So that is the reason why you need to have basic knowledge in computer as well. So these are the four basic topics that are being covered in aptitude. Now apart from that, let me tell you why this aptitude test is done. Not This aptitude test is not just done to evaluate or measure your knowledge in this area, but it is also done to check your creativity. Because again, as I told you, in logical reasoning programs or in logical reasoning problems that we have, it is how different can you approach that question, how can you think out of the box and then reach an answer to that or find a solution to this problem. So that with that we are able to assess or analyze your creativity. And another one is your observation skills. Again, you need to really observe the question well, because in almost all the questions you observe the question, and if you understand the question well, it will help you to reach the solution in a faster manner. So again, your observation skills are also very much important, and your creativity and observation is not just enough, but yes, you need to reach the solution. So problem solving skills are also assessed here. Now, if you look at the slide, you can see creativity, observation, problem solving. So these are all key skills or your qualities that are necessary in order to work better in a company. Okay, because how creative you are, how good observation skills you have, and how well can you solve problems, and how spontaneous are you with problem solving skills. So all these will help you and make sure that you are able to handle or tackle any difficult situation given in a company or a workforce. Now, the aptitude test is required it is required for you to clear the aptitude test in order to get into a company, and later on in your later stages of your career, maybe when you crave for when you want a promotion, again you would be asked to attend an aptitude test, and then again you will have to go through the same process again. Now, another advantage that we have had over the past 2-3 years, if I'm not wrong, is that the aptitude test has been made online, and it has been nationalized so that lot of candidates can attend the same test at the same time. So the benefit is that more candidates are getting opportunities to attend interviews and to clear the interviews. But at the same time, just like a coin has both the sides, the candidates have another challenge, is that because there are a lot of participants, because there are a lot of candidates, the competition is also really high. So you need to be really smart, you need to be really fast in order to make sure that you crack the aptitude test in the initial attempt itself. So ideally, I'll tell you, it is somewhere around 45 seconds to 1 minute on an average that you can spend on a question. So you can imagine, if we just give an aptitude question right now, maybe we'll take more than 2 minutes just to read and understand what the question is. So as I told you, it is really the speed that matter and the practice that matters. So that is for the first round of interview that we have. That is the first online test that we have. And the next round of interview that we have is group discussion. I'm very sure that everybody, or at least majority of y'all, would be familiar with the term group discussion. I don't know how many of y'all have had a real-time experience participating in a group discussion, but at least, yeah, you will have a basic idea. So let me also give you some insights on group discussion. So yes, as the word suggested, it is a discussion within a group. So basically, it is also a kind of a filtration round, I would say. And the objective is to select the best candidates so that only the best candidates reach the final round of interview. That is a face-to-face interview. But I would personally like to rephrase it saying that it is not a selection round. In fact, but it is a elimination round. It is an elimination round that is done. Why? Because in a group discussion, maybe for a 15 minutes of time, or maybe somewhere around 10 to 15 candidates are participating in a group discussion. And at the end of 15th minute, maybe if I'm impressed with all the 15, I will select all the 15. Or if I am impressed with maybe 5 of them, I'll select 5 and reject the rest 10. And if I'm impressed with just one candidate, I'll select just one candidate and eliminate the rest 14. And if I'm not at all impressed, I'll just eliminate the entire group as such. Okay. So the benefit from a recruiter's point of view is that within a short period of time, I'm able to make a decision on 15 candidates. So the most efficient method of elimination in order to make sure that I remove the unwanted candidates or the candidates who are not very suitable for this particular post, I would say that the best option that we have is group discussion. Now, you need to understand. So every round has an objective as to why it is done. So you really need to understand the reason, the sole reason or the sole objective of why this particular round is conducted. So that makes it very easy for you to attend that particular round, keeping this objective in mind, so that you will be able to impress the assessor who's in front of you. Okay, so any clues about what is the objective of group discussion? Can you give it a try? Okay, so let me put it for you. So group discussion is basically to check your communication skills. Yes, that is one important factor that is assessed during a group discussion. How well can you voice out your opinion? How well can you communicate with the others? All these are assessed there. But that is not the most important factor. That is not the most important objective of conducting a group discussion. Now, the primary objective of conducting a group discussion is to check how good a team player are you. Because none of y'all are going to work alone in a company. You will have to work with your colleagues. You will have to work in a team. So how well can you get along with your teammates is what is being primarily assessed here. So your team spirit and how good a leader are you apart from a team player. If you have good leadership skills, is that portrayed during the group discussion? Yes, that is another thing that is being assessed. And yet another thing is your negotiation skills. And that is, I would say, I would like to title it as the skill of this particular era, because everybody, if you are in a team and if you are open to discussion, it is very much natural that everybody would have a different opinion and there would be a clash of thoughts as well. So in order for you to take it forward, you need to make sure that you are not holding on to the clashes, but you are trying to solve that so that you are able to reach a solution, or you are able to take the discussion somewhere healthy, right? So the approach that you can have is negotiation. So you can convince the other person, you can negotiate and convince the other person that maybe, yes, what you're saying is right. But in fact, you cannot impose your thoughts on them, but you can convince that person. So this is a wonderful skill that is being assessed here. Now, another thing is, again, your confidence. How confident are you in a team? How well can you take up decisions? And in case of problems that arise during a group discussion, or in case of problems that arise within a team when you're working in a company, in a team, so are you able to solve that problem? Do you have crisis management skills? Do you have problem solving skills? All these are little things that are being assessed in the group discussion. So understand the fact that communication is not just the only factor, but there are a lot of other factors as to as well that are being assessed here. So it is very important that you keep the key objective, that is the team spirit. So you need to accept all your group members. At the same time, you should also make sure that you are performing really well so that you are being noticed. Now, one thing that all of you might be thinking is group discussion, right? So all of you have to sit together in a group and then have a discussion. So is it possible to do that right now in in social distancing, because all of y'all are sitting at different places. I'm sitting in Kerala, and you are sitting in Coimbatore, and then listening to the session. So likewise, is group discussion possible with social distancing? The answer is yes. Okay. So again, virtualized version of group discussion is what we have right now. Now, I would say that it is a little more challenging than the regular group discussion that we have, because here again there is another major challenge that comes across or plays a role, that is the technology, the technological aid that you're using. There could be technical glitches that you can face, be it with your audio issues, or be it with your video issues, or be it with your network issues. So there are a lot of technical glitches also that you could face. So that is an additional challenge that we have. Now,
Ma'am, sorry for the interruption. Ma'am, we were not able to see the slides, ma'am. Only PowerPoint is visible.
you're not able to see my screen at all?
We can able to see, ma'am, but the slide doesn't show anything.
So what is it that you see on the screen?
It's just the empty. Just now we were not able to see, ma'am.
So all this while you
Yeah.
couldn't see my screen.
No, that's might be a technical glitches, ma'am. Now we were able to see, ma'am. You can continue.
Can you see the screen now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Thank you for informing me.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So yes, so as I was telling you, it is definitely possible for you to attend group discussions virtually. So you have to overcome the challenge of the technical glitches, like just like what I face right now. So there is high chance that you all will face technical glitches. So we need to be very careful of that as well. Now, another thing that you should take care or keep in mind is that you should make sure that you are noticed in a group. Now, if I ask you a question right now, all right, so I'm just asking all of you all a question, and then maybe 95% of you know the answer, okay, and you are answering that, but you are on mute. And if I ask one of you all to unmute and speak, I'm very sure that nobody would speak, because your heartbeat would raise, and we'll be really nervous. Our BP would shoot to maybe 200, 220. That is because we've been so used to sitting in our comfortable zone. We've been so used to sitting at our homes and then listening to all these things without having to put us into a troublesome situation of we having to face the audience or speak. So what you have to make sure is that whenever you are in a crowd, make sure that you're grabbing the attention of the the main person. So if it is a GD that is being conducted there, there would definitely be an assessor. So there is absolutely no point in being silent and listening unless and until you speak and participate really well, and then you voice out your opinion. You are not going to grab the attention of that particular person. So use that. So do that. This is useful for you not just in GD, in all other situations as well. So I can see that you are having webinars for the 4 days webinar. You've had a webinar yesterday, and you have another 2 more webinars tomorrow. So you're having resource persons coming from the corporate field, who have more interaction with the corporate. So if you as an audience, if one of you or maybe a couple of you all are able to grab the resource person's attention, and if I'm able to remember maybe 1 or 2 of you, and tomorrow if you're calling me and asking me for a help, you say that you want a help in order to get placed in one of the companies that I'm associated with. So if I'm able to recognize you, yes, definitely I'll help you. But if I don't recognize you, you just say that, yes, ma'am, I was there in the webinar that you attended, you were handling. So could you please help me? Again, I don't know you. You said you were there. You were a passive participant. But if you are an active participant, if you're able to grab my attention, if you're able to build a rapport, then definitely you can expect a help. This is what is called as networking. So utilize the opportunities that you have that are coming to you, and then make sure that you are using these to build your contacts so that you can also flourish or maybe excel when it comes to your corporate culture or your career, I would say. So that is one thing that you have to take care in group discussion as well. So because it is virtual, there is high chance that you can go unnoticed. So please make sure that you are participating really well, and at the same time you're giving your fellow mates also equal importance and equal opportunities to speak. All right, so we've already spoken about aptitude, we've spoken about group discussion. Now let's look at the other round of interview that we have, a telephonic interview. Now, telephonic interview, from the name itself, you can very well understand that it's just a call that you're going to get. They'll be asking you questions over the call. You need to answer them, and then you proceed. So that is simple as it is. So that is telephonic interview. Now, again, all of you would have a notion that telephonic interview is very easy, right? Because we are sitting at our own place, at our very comfortable place. We don't have to go to a different place, or we don't have to get nervous about that. And the next thing is, are you seeing the interviewer? No, you are not seeing the interviewer. So again, since I'm not seeing the other person, I'm a little more relaxed, because I can just speak like how I am speaking regularly. So these are the two reasons why you might think that this is the easiest round of interview that we have. But trust me, this is not very easy as you expect. The reason being, in telephonic interview, you can impress the other person only with your voice, your communication, with the words that you use, because there you are not able to see that person is not able to see me. So in certain cases, if I'm running out of words, I'm not able to clearly express as to what is there in my mind, I'm not getting the absolute word. So if it was a live interview that you were attending, you could maybe use your body language, or you could somehow express it with your body, and maybe you can use actions, your expressions, all of that could be used in order to convey the message. But is it possible in telephonic interview? No, because you are not seeing that person. Same way, they are also not seeing you. So communication, your language plays a major role in telephonic interview, because the way you express it is very important. And another challenge that you might face here is that uh, you are clearly not able to see that person. So you really don't know if my answers are impressive, or am I able to convince that person, or is he or she, the interviewer, is he or she very happy about the answers that I've been giving? I have no clue, because the only response that I might get from the other end would be, mm-hmm, all right, okay. So what do you understand from this? All right, okay. You might not clearly understand whether they are very happy about the answers that we've been giving. So these are the challenges, major challenges, that you might face when it comes to a telephonic interview. So I'll tell you some of the things that you are supposed to keep in mind when you are attending a telephonic interview. First one is, you have the liberty to schedule your interview. Now, that is not in every cases. I cannot assure you that in every cases. But some companies, what they do is they will give a call in the beginning, and then they will ask for your time schedule. And accordingly, according to your free time, you can schedule the time. And in other cases, what you will have to do is they will be giving you the interview time slot. So you will have to make sure that you schedule all your other works accordingly, and make sure that you keep yourself free in that particular scheduled time. Now, when you are given the liberty to pick your own time, make sure that you are picking a time where there is absolutely no disturbance or distraction that could come to your end, come to you from any others around you. Because if suppose say that you are picking maybe morning 9 to 10 time, and before corona, that was a time when all your siblings or your parents would be going to office or schools or colleges, wherever they are up to. So that is a very busy time. So if that is a time that I was using to schedule an interview, I'm very sure there is a lot of background noise and disturbance that are going to come up during the interview. And definitely I'll not be having peace of mind, because maybe a couple of times my sister would have to enter my room, or maybe my mother would have had to enter the room to take their things. So I'm getting distracted. So make sure that you pick your time in such a way that you are absolutely free from any distraction and you can sit silently in a quiet place so that you are making sure that there is no background noise. The moment you start speaking, you should make sure that only your voice should be heard. You should make sure that there is no background noise, like that you shouldn't be sitting right in front of a TV, because then there'll be a lot of background noise. And try to keep yourself away from or sit somewhere away from the roadside, because again there'll be a lot of vehicle sounds that will be causing a lot of disturbance. So try to keep all these things away. Pick a place in such a way that there is absolutely no disturbance with people or with noise, so that there is no interruptions or distractions during the interview. Now, definitely charge your device, be it your SIM, recharging your SIM, or be it charging your gadget that you're using. Make sure that you have sufficient charge in it. And finally, the most important thing is know your tone. See, the words that I use is not just what matters. Is not just what matters, but how you present that, how you deliver that is also very important. Now, if you're very polite, that is reflected in your voice tone. But if you're very rude or if you're very nervous, that is also very much reflected in your tone. So you need to be very careful about the tone with which you speak. So the intonation that you give, the pauses that you make, the words that you use, the way you address the person, all these matters a lot. Now, I would have a humble request. There's a rookie mistake that everybody does, is that you tend to become nervous. Yes, that's quite natural. Interview means definitely you're going to get nervous. But when you're getting nervous, what you do is you forget the fact that you need to address the other person. So when somebody is asking you a question, you say, yes, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, I understand. All right. So this is how you answer. Not because you're being rude, it's just because you're being nervous. But think from the other person's perspective. When the other person is listening, you might sound rude. So always use addressing words like sir or madam. You can say, okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am, I will do that. All right. Yes, sir, I totally understand that. So do you see the difference of when I'm using the word sir and when I'm not using? So the tone is very important. Also, the words that you use, that is also very important. Simple example, something that we've been using regularly. Now, say suppose you want one of your friend to fetch maybe a bottle of water, or maybe fetch a glass of water from the canteen for you. So you are asking, how do you ask your friend? You would say, can you fetch a glass of water for me? That is how you would say, right? But rather, there is another option that you have. Could you fetch a glass of water for me? So which one would we usually prefer? We always prefer the can you version. But because it is a question and because it is supposed to be, or it is expected to be polite, can you fetch a glass of water is wrong usage, because when you're using the word can, it is not a request that you're making, but in fact it is a command or an order. You want that person to do it. Can you do that for me? Yes, I want you to do that. So that is the tone that is being portrayed or being conveyed, the message that's being conveyed here. But on the other hand, when you're using could, that is the request that you're using. So as I told you, these are the normal words that we use regularly, but the common mistakes that we have. So here again, the words that you use is also very, very important when it comes to telephonic interview. So be very cautious and make sure that you don't multitask. Do not put your phone on speaker, and make sure that you do not have any other, you are not chatting with anybody else when you are on the call. Do not put yourself on the speaker, ask your friend for an opinion and then give the answer. So all these are negatives that give a very wrong impression about yourself. Okay. Now, the next thing that we have is, yes, definitely the interview that we have, and it is the virtual mode of interview. So it is the video interview. Anita ma'am, I hope the screen is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am. We are in the second slide, right?
Yes, right.
Oh, okay,
So
ma'am.
you could see the slide about telephonic interview, correct?
No, ma'am. I could see the slide about group discussion possible with social distancing.
That is the slide that you're able to see again.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Now the different screen. Aptitude test, telephonic interview, group discussion.
Okay. Can you see the screen now?
Now it is showing us an aptitude test, telephonic interview, group discussion, and video interview.
All right. Okay, perfect. All right.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
I think there is something wrong with the slideshow that I'm using. So I'll just go with the normal version. Okay. Anyways. So the fourth mode of interview that we have is the video interview. So when it comes to video interview, again, it is the regular mode of interview, but it's just that it's in the virtual mode. So you don't see the person in person directly, but it's just that you see the other person on the screen. So few things that you have to take care. Ma'am, you can see the yellow screen.
Yes, ma'am. I'm able
Oh,
to.
perfect. So few things that you will have to take care is that first, definitely you need to test the technology that you are going to use as the aid in order to attend the interview. So there is definitely a platform that will be used in order to ensure that you are attending that interview, right? So make sure that, say for example, maybe you all are so used to attending sessions on Google Meet, or maybe you're so used to attending sessions on Zoom, okay, but all on a sudden tomorrow you are having an interview and it is scheduled on another platform, say for example WebEx or maybe Microsoft Teams, and you're not very comfortable with the options or the facilities that these particular platforms uh, provide you with. So in that case, make sure that you test it prior to your interview. So whenever you have a presentation or whenever you have an interview, make sure maybe on the previous day, use that same platform, run a trial run, and then make sure that you are aware of all the features, how to unmute yourself, how to play a video, or all that. So you have to be very sure that you are aware of all of this. Now, the second thing is your appearance. You have to dress in such a way that you're giving the best impression about yourself, because they're seeing you and they're going to assess you based on how you look and how you picture yourself or how you carry yourself. So the costume that you have, the body language that you have, all that is very, very, very important when it comes to making a very good impression. So it is highly recommended, or I wouldn't use the word recommended, it is mandatory that whenever you attend an interview, you need to make sure that you are in your formals and not any casual wear. So I hope you all have a clear idea about what formals are. But just a small picture for all the gentlemen out here, you will have to wear formal shirts and formal trousers. So it's going to be again full sleeve shirts that are expected from you. And when it's full sleeve, you're not supposed to roll your sleeves. And yeah, definitely you will have to make sure that your grooming and hygiene is also really good. You have to keep your hair combed neatly and keep sure that your facial hairs are neatly groomed and you look presentable. You need to really look highly presentable. And for the all the ladies out here, you have options. Unlike the men, we have more options when it comes to formals. You can either wear your salwar or you can wear sari. Again, a formal sari is something that you can wear. Or in the third case that you have is a business, Western formal that we have that you can wear. So that could be a shirt, a formal shirt and a pant, or it can be a formal shirt and a formal skirt. So these are the three options that you have. And regarding the grooming and hygiene, the same rule applies for you as well. Make sure that your hair is neatly combed and you look really presentable. Last month, when we were conducting a recruitment for a very reputed company, I would say Cognizant. So when we were conducting a recruitment there, the first round of interview was the HR interview, which was giving very much importance to your grooming and appearance. So every company is assessing you on this particular factor also, because they need all their employees to be highly presentable. So that shows the quality of that company, or that shows the standard of that particular organization that you're working in. Correct. So make sure that you are highly presentable whenever you are attending an interview. Not just an interview, this is applicable for you whenever you are addressing a crowd. And the third thing that you have to look into mind is you have to create a set. Make sure that when you're looking at the video, you can consider my frame here. Make sure you are having a plain background. So the benefit of having a plain background is that there is absolutely no distraction for you. What is highlighted in my video? It is me, because it's a plain white backdrop I have behind me, and I'm wearing a bright costume. So again, I am the one who is highlighted here, and there are no too many artistic works on my wall, so that the audience, that is you, are not at all getting distracted. So this is the exact same thing that you have to keep in mind when you are also attending an interview, because the interviewers are also human, right? So when you are speaking, and then if, say, suppose you're sitting right in your dining room, or maybe in your front room, and you have your TV behind you, and you have the main door is also visible on the video. So if all of these are there in the video, what happens is that whenever somebody passes, the audience are looking at them. Okay, somebody came, and I'm losing the audience is losing the attention of what the speaker is saying, right? And the audience can also be very much occupied with what's going on in the TV, rather than listening to what the speaker is saying. So same way, when you are also attending an interview, all these distractions can also cause distraction to the interviewer as well. So what happens is the interviewer loses a focus on what is it that you are speaking. Now, what are you doing in an interview? You are trying to impress the HR, right? So how do you impress the HR? You are able to impress the HR only with how you present yourself. You are able to impress only with what you say and how you say, with your body language. So in order for you to impress that person has to focus on what you are saying and how you are saying, or how you are presenting it. So for that, make sure that there are absolutely no distractions at all in your video. It's only you who is visible. And also make sure that your cot, okay, that is your bed, your cupboard, or your clothes stand, if you're sitting in a room, okay, in your bedroom, your clothes stand, all these it should not be visible. So you can definitely pick a plain wall and sit in front of that plain wall. Or in case you don't have a plain wall, and we don't have so much space in our house, if that is the case, what you can do is you can use a plain white cloth tied behind you, and make sure that the other person will not understand it is a cloth. So there should not be any folds or anything of that sort. The borders should not be visible, so that they will not understand it is a cloth that you've used behind you, to make sure that you have good backdrop. Now also make sure that the light is falling on your face, not the light source should not be behind you, it should be right in front of you, so that the face looks bright. Okay, the face should look well lit. So make sure that all these things are considered when you attend an online interview, especially a video interview. Okay, and the next thing that you have to remember is that you really need to impress the person who is sitting in front of you. But for that, please, I have a humble request. You are not expected to mug up a lot of things and then just deliver it as and how it is. The common question, or the very usual question, the very common way of starting an interview would be by asking the candidates to introduce themselves. So you should be very confident about your introduction. You can definitely script it down, but please make sure that when you are delivering it, you should not sound as if you've by hearted it and then you've said. Now, there are a lot of other questions as well. If you just go through the FAQs of interview in the internet, you can find a lot of repeated questions. Basically, these are the questions that are being asked to all the candidates. It's just that the approach, the answers that you give are different. And you can also find a lot of template answers in the internet. please do not copy that. Please do not by heart that, and do not try to by heart and pour the answers. Just speak from your experience, be genuine, tell them the truth, and you can express yourself. Only when you are expressing yourself, the true yourself, you will be able to impress the other person who's sitting in front of you. Because remember the thing, you have only 20 to 40 minutes. That's the time for an interview. So somewhere around 20 to 40 minutes to impress the person sitting in front of you. So in order for you to impress the person sitting in front of you, you have to be the real you. If you're nervous and if your body language is so tensed and you are not able to move, it's frozen, you're definitely not able to impress that person, right? So relax and speak from your experience. I have a humble request. Do not write it down. Do not keep any books or sticky notes in front of you, because we can very well understand when you are looking at these particular things, when you're reading out from somewhere, or maybe when you're constantly looking at one particular spot and speaking, we can very well understand that. Now, the next thing is that you need to show your identity in such a way that it is highly professional and it is really presentable. So your virtual identity is your social media presence as well. So your WhatsApp status, the name that you've given for the WhatsApp user account. So again, your Facebook posts, your Instagram posts, if all of these are made public, then definitely there will be a background check that will be done from our end to check the attitude or check the background of this particular person, to check the conduct of this particular person. So definitely make sure that all these backgrounds that you have, or all these virtual presence that you have, is highly professional, and it should at the same time give the best impression about you. And finally, yes, impress. That is the ultimate aim of attending an interview, or ultimate aim or objective that you have to keep in mind when you are attending an interview. Always have a charming smile on your face, because the moment you tend to become nervous, or moment you freeze your body language, definitely that's reflected on your facial expression, the way you speak. You're not very approachable and you are not relaxed. So all these can be understood clearly from the body language. In fact, people learn, or people can read your body language really well. So how you use your body language in order to communicate, apart from the verbal communication, the non-verbal communication, that is using your body language, is also very important. So always have a pleasant and charming smile, and the tone with which you speak. If you're very confident, your voice will be really bold, and you will have a really good way of speaking as well. So all these things should be clearly kept in mind when you are when you are attending an interview. So these are the basic ideas or basic things that you should be aware of when it comes to interviews, the virtual mode of interviews. I'm very sure that you will be getting a lot of practice sessions as well in the coming days. So I wish all of you a very good luck with your career. I hope that all of you will be able to reach your dream, achieve your goal and achieve your dream, so that you can have a wonderful career in your future as well. All right. So yeah, that's it about the virtual interviews that I wanted to speak about. Now I'm open to questions. So if any of you all have any questions, you can definitely go ahead and shoot.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Actually, the session is really a need for a day. During this pandemic session, everything become digital. The interviews also become virtual. So definitely, this will be a heads up for all the participants, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can ask, ma'am. The session is open to questions, and if you want to have it, you have it in the chat box as well.
You can ask me questions in Tamil also. I can understand Tamil, and if I speak Tamil, I'll make a lot of mistakes. That's the reason why I'm not doing that.
The session is open to you. Students, you can ask questions now.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Actually, in the situation, the pandemic situation, students are attending a class in virtual mode, and they learn something because face to face we learn many things, but in the online we couldn't learn many things from the online classes. But how did you find the students capable from your virtual interview? Is it possible? Could you find the students' mentality, knowledge? Could you check with that, ma'am, through the virtual interview? Is it possible?
Definitely, sir, because just looking at the interview rounds that we have, it's the same thing that is replicated in the online media. It's just that we are not able to see that person in real. But apart from that, the questions being asked and then the situations that they are put into and the test that they are, it's all the same. So it's the same process. And again, sir, as you said, it is very true that all the students are very much comfortable attending the online sessions. And but I would like to make a small change in that, saying that they're not learning much. It's basically they're getting the same opportunities. It's just that because the students are put into a lot of comfortable situation or comfortable mode, they are not. Putting them into a challenging position where they will have to strain a little more so that they can get a little more extra input or effort. So that is the only difference. So in case of interviews, it's the same. And also I would say it had already been online or virtualized, because with the aptitude, even before the pandemic, it was already online. And again, telephonic interview was already there. Even video interviews were also already also there. And in fact, to be very honest, the recruiters are finding, even I am in some recruitment panels. So even we are finding it very easy for us to conduct the interviews or the recruitment process, the selection process online, because there is not much wastage of resources or time. So I'm very sure that most of the companies, even after pandemic, also would be definitely sticking on to this particular mode.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other questions you have?
Participants, do you have any questions? I think everyone understood, ma'am.
Yeah, all right, I understand.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for the wonderful feedback that I've been getting in the chat box. So it was a wonderful session with you, though I couldn't see you, but I'm very happy that I got to associate with the KSG college. So thank you so much, Anita ma'am, for this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. We have a note of thanks actually. Request Mr. Vasant Kumar sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, to deliver the vote of thanks. Vasant sir?
Yeah, ma'am. Online, ma'am.
Yes.
Good morning, one and all gathered here. It is indeed a great pleasure and honor for me and propose the vote of thanks. I take this golden opportunity to thank a respected chief guest of this session, Ms.ANGELA Leah Eldan, for attending this function in her busy schedule and sharing her insight and wisdom with all of us. We will cultivate the advice we give us in our real life. Thank you, ma'am. It is my pleasure to express my gratitude and dignities for correspondent, CEO, principal, HOD, staff member, and students who have attended this session. Once again, I thank you all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Participants, I've posted the feedback link in the chat box. You can fill the feedback link. Angela ma'am, it's really a honor to have you, and thank you so much for the session. Soon we will have it. I mean, we will meet you in person in the college so that students will get to know more. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Angela ma'am. Thank you for your time in the busy schedule.
Thank you so much, ma'am. My pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. We have come to the end of the session. Angela ma'am, you can leave. Participants, you just fill the feedback form.